we're just going to have a little bit of a chat to draw some conclusions from the day. So, Emma, a very warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
I'm going to come and sit in the middle. I've been sitting in the same place all day. You go,
you
yeah,
like.
there we
Okay,
are. There
we'll
we are. There we are. So, I just wondered, Emma, listening to the discussions today, you started this morning with a very clear diagnosis of where we were, the scale of the challenge we face, and where you thought things were not going in the right direction. Is there anything particularly striking, unexpected for you out of today's discussion? Anything that made you really stop and say,
Well, not really unexpected, but three things that strike me a lot. The first, in a positive way, was during the speech of Mr. Rutte, when he said that he wants to work on the innovation principle. You know, he said, now we're expecting an applause, and the applause was there, because for us, this is very important. Normally in Europe, you talk about the precautionary principle, which is the one who leads everything. We want to have an innovation principle. And so the fact to hear from Mr. Rutte that he wants to work with this, and also Ms. Bieńkowska said, I appreciate very much this striking me in a very positive way, so I want to underline this. Linked to this, another thing that struck me in a positive way was when Ann Matters said we did a lot to incentivize research, but maybe we didn't do enough to incentivize digitalization. And as it was said also from Uli Grillo and some other panelists, digitalization is a key challenge, but it's also a key and strong opportunity. So maybe the idea to work together, policymakers and entrepreneurs, to try to understand how digitalization could be a real opportunity also for small, medium enterprises is something good. So the fact that there was this perception is very important for me. And the third thing that struck me in a positive way is that maybe if you talk about the relationship between us and the unions, also in the panel where Luca Visentini was there and Marcus was there, I saw a lot of, how can I say, an attitude to solve the problems, an attitude, a pragmatic attitude, not ideological, very pragmatic to try to solve the problem, understanding that there are real challenges in front of us, and so we don't have to be divided by different ideas. We can have also different ideas, but we have a very pragmatic way to try to solve the problem. So these are three, let's say, good things that struck me in a positive way.
The Dutch Prime Minister said at the end of his speech, tell us what to do. And you have. You've made it very clear. You wrote them a very clear letter at the beginning of their presidency. But if we were reporting back, and I promised that we would to him on the key outcomes of today, what for you would be the key messages that we should deliver to him coming out of today's discussion?
Well, starting from what I said this morning, we can say that it's clear to all of us that Europe is facing very strong challenges, different one. So we need to make the reforms, to perform, as we said. This is very important. But also, I think a lot of panelists underlined also the positive aspects of Europe, also in these last panels. And so I think that maybe what we can do, what we can say to him is that if we go on with the reforms, if we enhance competitiveness at the level of a member state levels, but also at a European level with all the things we already said, the digitalization, energy union, better regulation, I think we can succeed. So the idea is that challenges are there, but if we do the right things, we can succeed. Another thing that is very clear for us, and we'd like to say this also to Mr. Rutte, is that all the panelists said the solution stays in more Europe. We need a Europe-wide solution. We need more Europe in anything we said. And maybe the third thing that a lot of panelists touch on, and also myself, is that we have to save Schengen, because Schengen is a very important thing, and if Schengen collapses, the internal market will collapse, and all the convergence process that we are trying to do will have a stop. So Schengen has to be solved.
Thank you. One last question before we end and we give you all a drink. The Prime Minister also talked about these things being done step by step. And Commissioner Bieńkowska stressed the need to deliver. So as you say, very pragmatic discussions, and being very pragmatic and really overarching and looking at all this, and you highlighted the gap from words to deeds. We spent quite a lot of time in that last panel talking about how to cross that bridge from the words to the deeds. If you had to identify just of all those things you've mentioned, one key follow-up, what would it be?
Yes, we were discussing with some people who are still here. I think when we talk about migration, this crisis of refugees and immigrants, this is a key point. When we talk about Brexit, when we talk about the uncertainty, this is, very linked to this point. So I think it's time also for the business community to commit to try to solve this problem or to give ideas to solve this problem. So some of the people who were in the last panel talk about this idea of having a control of the boundaries, not in an old way with people or with walls that we hate, but maybe with a new way to do it, maybe with digitalization, maybe with drones, maybe with using technology. So I think what we will do, we will discuss among us, among our member association, if we want, but I think we will do it if we want to commit on this. And so try to have a group of people and try to understand if we have the technologies and the skills as companies to try to add something to the solution. So controlling the boundaries, because this is one of the ways we can save Schengen, with new technologies. And I think the European companies can have a lot of good technologies, good example to show. And this, can save Schengen from one side, but could also be a way to enhance growth, because we are talking, and this morning this was said, we are talking about an investment of 30 billion euro, 50 billion euro a year. And if it's made by European companies using their technology, using their skills, this could be a very good way to solve the problem, show to the people, to European people, that the problem can be solved in a practical way, and have also a way to enhance growth and enhance and develop technologies and digitalization. So we will commit in the next week. Probably we will have the next days, a phone call with all our member states, member association, to really try to have a real, concrete project on this point.
So thank you very much. So coming back to really where we started this morning when we talked about making Europe feel good about itself, making the public, which is something that's come through all day, convincing the public that Europe is part of the solution. Here, a very tangible project and also a way of the business community both winning from it, but also showing that it is playing a role. On that very upbeat and concrete note, ladies and gentlemen, will you join me in thanking Emma?
May I just make a
Of course
thank?
you, of course.
First, I would like to thank Therese de Linderkerker for the, where is she?
She's over there. She's
for
sitting
the
quiet.
wonderful job
Stand
she
up,
did.
Therese.
I want to thank you, because I think this day was a very successful day, because we had very good and very, interesting panelists, but you were a perfect coordinator of all the panels. So thank you very much for what you've done. I want to thank all the speakers and all our friends who have been here with us for the whole day. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy this day, and some good ideas maybe came up, and we will develop on this and we will work on this.
Well, let me end by thanking you and thanking Marcus for hosting such a splendid day with such fascinating discussions. Thank you again to all of you. Your reward awaits you outside. If you can stay and enjoy a little drink, please do, and may I wish you a very enjoyable evening after that, wherever you're going. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you to all of you.